here in Testamental against the men of mayhem. I promise you, the front door is now guarded by the world's most dangerous tag team, the Howletts.
DQ, no excuses, street fight, Premier versus the Howletts.
Welcome everybody to DWF, No Turning Back! Man, oh man, from top to bottom, I'm telling you, this is one of the most stacked cards that DWF has ever put together, and I am so excited to be a part of it. And thank you all so much for coming out and witnessing what should be a historic event here tonight. Make some noise for yourselves. Come on, you guys like cheering for yourselves, right? All right, but without further ado, we have a huge announcement to start off the show. So I am going to bring out one of the most legendary wrestlers in the history of Kansas City wrestling. He is 1/4. That's right, 1/4 of the original foundation. He is the matchmaker for DWF. Give it up for Michael Strider!
Rogers has sustained an injury. He slipped on some water in businessman who runs a big business with plastic tattoos and Saturdays take up much of his time. So he has graciously decided to be a sponsor and supporter. But Simon, none of this would be without you. Thank you. Another great thing, look at all these sponsors. Take a look at all these sponsors that believe in what we're doing, that believe in what you guys are looking at. It's because of these sponsors that we're able to stay in this great building. And it's because of these sponsors that I am happy to announce that we're going to be able to lower ticket prices all across the board from here on out. I've been a pro wrestler since 1997. And I've always had another thing to address on that. No, I will not be having any more professional wrestling matches. Hopefully you will never see me in this fight again. And I tell you, my wars are over, but boy, do I miss those wars. I have always felt a connection to the wrestling fans because I am one. I was one. I continue to be one, and I think the fans always felt a connection with me, and especially the Kansas City fans. This is where I live, this is where I raised my son, and I love Kansas City wrestling. And I promise you, from day one, as long as there's a blood boiling in my body and I have a heartbeat, you will always have professional wrestling in Kansas City that you can be proud of, that you can feel respect and goes to me. That's hard-hitting, fighting, you will have wrestling in Kansas City. So, wrestling in Kansas City is Draper, it's Bulldog, it's Rufus, it's Harley. It is Central States Wrestling. That's who those guys created, and we stand on the shoulder of those giants. I started my wrestling career with Central States Wrestling. We built a great promotion in Central State Wrestling in the early 2000s for here on out. God bless it. Thank you, DWF and everything. But now, the next show forward, we are Central States Wrestling. Get loud. We spent a lot of time putting this card together for everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And enjoy the matches.
Several big announcements to kick off the Dynamic Wrestling Federation. I'm sorry, Central States Wrestling's no turning back. Obviously, the changes to the card, we apologize about that. Jeremy Wyatt with the family emergency won't be able to defend his DWF championship this evening against Mike Outlaw. Instead, that will be a number one contenders matchup as Mike Outlaw is putting up his number one contenders spot against Vic Capri. Also, Gil Rogers injured earlier today. He's seeking medical attention right now, but the biggest news is that we are no longer the Dynamic Wrestling Federation. We are Central States Wrestling, brought back from the dead, I suppose. We've got a huge night ahead of us here, fans. I'm Jeremy Seeger for Central States Wrestling. Let's take a look at tonight's updated card. In our main event of the evening, which is being brought to you by Kincaid-KC.com, the Howletts, Hoodie and Anaya will go to battle against the Premier, SK Bishop and Campbell Myers in a Kansas City street fight. Mike Outlaw, who is sponsored tonight by Bottom to Top Cleaning Services, will put up his #1 contender status to the DWF Championship against newcomer, the Ice Pick, Vic Capri. After 5 months of waiting, the Kings Road Slayer, Neal, will finally square off against Moonshine Mantell, who will be accompanied to the ring by his new manager, Greg Jovi. The Mile High Magnum, Draper, who is sponsored by Up Down Kansas City, will face off against one half of the Grindhouse tag team, Davy Vega. The Quadfather, Camero Jackson, takes on the second half of the Grindhouse tag team, the Gvnslinger, Matt Fitchett. The 6'8" monster, Dirty Jake Dirden, with his agent, Roscoe Leach, will see action as he faces the Haymaker, Jamison Holley, who is being sponsored by Top Tier Figures. And kicking things off tonight will be Luigi Primo, who is being sponsored by Light Sleeper Tattoo, as he takes on the Raees, Arjun Singh, with his agent, Roscoe Leach. Let's get down to our ring announcer, Ben Miller, to introduce this opening matchup.
Let's make some noise! All right, the following match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Your referee is Alex.
Singh, accompanied by his agent Roscoe Leach, makes his way down to the ringside area to kick things off at no turning back. He will be taking on Luigi Primo in this, our opening matchup here at the Camelot Ballroom in Overland Park, Kansas, just outside of downtown Kansas City, Missouri.
And here's the opponent.
Luigi Primo, twirling around that pizza dough as only he can. He is the world's greatest pizza chef. And he is here at no turning back to see if he can get a victory over Arjun Singh, the Raees. Officially underway here at No Turning Back. Armringer to start things off by Singh. But no. A little action with that pizza dough. And a reversal by Luigi Primo. Primo having a good time here early on in this matchup, but he gets his leg picked by Singh into an ankle lock as Singh's going to work on that left ankle. of Luigi Primo, but again, more magic with that pizza dough as Primo shoves off and kips up. Charge forward, leapfrog by Primo. And a big drop kick takes Arjun Singh off his feet. Raees Arjun Singh. Raees translates to aristocrat, the aristocrat. He comes from generational wealth in his home country of India. Flies around in a private jet from match to match. As we go for a collar and elbow tie-up, but no, into the ropes. Roll through by Primo, ducks the clothesline into a crucifix. Looks like he's going for a crucifix pin attempt, but no, slides through. And Singh just captures those legs, grabs him by the throat, brings him up to his feet. But no, Primo now with a nice front face lock. He's got those legs wrapped around the waist for added leverage. But charging into the corner goes Arjun Singh. Primo ducks a wild clothesline and another drop kick by Luigi Primo. Up and over goes Primo as he slips on that apron there, gets his balance, comes back in, fires off a shoulder shot to the midsection. Into the ropes goes Primo with a big flying forearm that takes Singh off his feet. Singh to the outside, gonna regroup here with his agent, Roscoe Leach. Primo's got to look out for Leach and that horseshoe that Leach carries around in his pocket. Big double axe handle finds its mark. And a knife edge chop that echoes through the Camelot Ballroom. And another big knife edge chop lighting up the chest of Arjun Singh. Double axe handle attempt, but Singh begging off. Sweeps out the leg and a hard landing. Goes Primo, and now Singh going right back to work on the leg of the world's greatest pizza chef. Ooh, and a big boot finds its mark right to the temple of Luigi Primo. Back in the ring, we've got a hook of the leg and a cover. Primo able to kick out just in the nick of time. Big knee breaker nicely done by Arjun Singh. It looks like his plan of attack is that left leg. As Primo now firing off some shots, but Singh answers with a forearm shot. Pick of the leg. And just slamming down with a leg drag. We got another cover. And a 2 count only. Forearm shot, make that 2. And a third, no. Primo ducks, fires up a Italian uppercut, and a nice drop kick. Almost a leg lariat as he comes in for a cross body block, but he's caught. Scoop into a power slam by Arjun Singh, plants Primo in the center of the ring. It's a 2 count for his efforts. Singh with that leg on the bottom rope as he just sits down on the knee. He's trying to damage that leg, that's for sure. Big forearm shot by Luigi Primo, but he's cut off immediately. No momentum being built here as Arjun Singh is all over Luigi Primo. Indian whip into the corner, but Primo just collapsing as that leg is in a bad way. Charges forward, catches a boot. Primo up to the top rope, where actually now he's up to the top rope. What's he have in store here? No, he gets caught with an Indian uppercut, courtesy of the Raees Arjun Singh. We've got a cover. 2 count only. firmly behind the ever-popular Luigi Primo as he fires up a stiff forearm shot. These two men just trading shots right in the center of the ring. Into the ropes goes Primo with a basement drop kick that takes Singh off of his feet. The wheelbarrow attempt, no. Primo breaks free, and a spin wheel kick finds its mark. A glancing spin wheel kick, that one it caught. Into the ropes goes Primo, and a swinging neck breaker, nicely done. He's not capitalizing on Singh being down by going for a cover. Not sure that's a wise move, but he booped to the midsection nonetheless. Into a stunner. That should do it if Primo can capitalize. He does. 2 count only. Primo favoring that left knee. As it has sustained some damage here in this matchup, courtesy of the Raees Arjun Singh. Jawbreaker by Arjun Singh. And he's back up to his feet with a knee strike. Nicely done. That collapsed Primo to the canvas. Back up to the vertical base into a fireman's carry. Elbow shots. As Primo's trying to break free, manages to do so. Back up to that top rope, he's perched. Kicking Luigi, kicking Arjun Singh, I apologize, in the chest. But Singh firing off a forearm shot of his own. And now Roscoe Leach dug out that horseshoe. He wants Arjun Singh to hit him with that horseshoe. Referee caught him though. And Primo with a big cross body block. We got a hook on the leg and a cover. That'll do it. 3 count. The winner of this matchup, the world's greatest pizza chef, Luigi Primo. As it looked like there was an communication error there between Arjun Singh and Roscoe Leach. I'm not sure what Roscoe had in store, but he is not happy that Roscoe Leach demanded that he hit Primo with that horseshoe. Leach's plan backfiring big time and costing his client a potential win. Arjun Singh and Roscoe Leach arguing on their way back to the locker room. You can see Arjun Singh is not happy at all. Fans, coming up next, the Quadfather, Camero Jackson, takes on the Gunslinger, Matt Fitchett.
Oops-a-daisy. Anyways, I want to thank our sponsors really quick. Top to bottom cleaning service, the law offices of Hulnick, Stang, Gering, Leavitt, top tier figures, Kincaid, Warriors Academy, Light Sleeper Tattoo, fast signs, the list goes on and on. Thank you so much to our sponsors for sponsoring tonight's event. And the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
Quadfather, Camero Jackson, set to do battle with one half of the Grindhouse tag team, the Gunslinger, Matt Fitchett. In our next matchup here at No Turning Back, the Gunslinger, Matt Fitchett, one half of Grindhouse, with his partner, who we will see a little bit later, Spitfire, Davy, Vega, as he takes on to the Mile High Magnum, Draper. But before the bell even sounds, Matt Fitchett is all over the Quadfather. Matt Fitchett just stomping away at Jackson there in the corner. And now Fitchett egging this crowd on as he stands on the chest of Jackson. Fitchett will be using his speed and quickness along with his technical prowess against the strength, the immense strength of the Quadfather. Whipping to the ropes, no reversal as the Quadfather with the full head of steam. Leapfrog attempt by Fitchett, but he is caught. And a charge forward goes into the corner, does Matt Fitchett. And several shoulder blocks into that corner. And again, into the opposite corner goes Fitchett, all impact. As the Quadfather is in firm control of this matchup now, that he has got his wits about him. The Quadfather, a big favorite here, fan favorite here in the CSW. Charge forward goes Camero, but sidestep by Fitchett as Camero Jackson just collided with that steel post and lands hard on that wooden floor here at the Camelot Ballroom. And again, egging the crowd on is Matt Fitchett. The Gunslinger now on the outside going after Jackson, who hasn't moved much since colliding with that steel post. Big knife edge chop to the barrel chest of the Quadfather, Camero Jackson. Wild swing and a miss and a chop of his own. Gives Jackson a little breathing room. As you can see him favoring that. It would look like it might have been the forearm that collided with that steel post. The Gunslinger going to the eyes of Jackson. Back into the ring goes Jackson. Fitchett following him. We've got a cover. One count only. Fitchett with an arm wringer and a kick right to that injured arm. The Gunslinger, like a shark, he smells blood and he goes right after it. In this case, the blood is that arm of the Quadfather. Quadfather won't be able to use a lot of his strength if that arm is indeed injured. Big stomp right to the elbow. Got a cover. 2 count only. The Gunslinger just manipulating the joint, that wrist there of Camero Jackson. So you can hear Jackson just screaming in pain. As Fitchett just focuses his attack on that left arm of the Quadfather. Quadfather back up to the vertical base, though, fires off a shot to the breadbasket that breaks in free of that hold, and a big forearm strike that lights up the jaw of Matt Fitchett. Fitchett returning one of his own. Big knife edge chop lighting up the chest, and a Pele kick by Matt Fitchett sends the Quadfather down to the canvas. That pin attempt only got him a 2 count. Into the ropes. Fitchett's got that arm tied up. As he's taking full advantage of the referee's 5 count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This sellout crowd, sold out crowd here at the Camelot Ballroom does not like the Gunslinger Matt Fitchett, nor do they like his partner Spitfire Davy Vega, which you will find out for yourself later. We've got a cover by Fitchett. 2 count only. Godfather firing off a strike to the knee of Matt Fitchett. But Fitchett coming off with that kick and those toe pokes to the arm of Jackson. Jackson with a submission hold. He's trying to get the Godfather to tap out. Be hard-pressed to get that to happen now, as the Godfather is tough as nails. Jackson fires off a shot to the breadbasket, the midsection, and an elbow to the back of the head of the Gunslinger. Jackson brings Fitchett up to the vertical base. Big knife edge chop that floors Matt Fitchett. Jackson unable to capitalize as he is favoring that left arm, as Fitchett has done a lot of damage to it, and a huge knife edge chop that just echoes throughout the Camelot Ballroom. Jackson tried to whip Fitchett into the ropes, but just couldn't get the strength out of that arm. Ducks a wild clothesline, breaks through a clothesline, and a big shoulder block that takes the Gunslinger down to the canvas. Jackson will have to rethink his game plan, reevaluate his game plan, as that arm is not much use to him right now, as he catches, and a power slam nicely done by Jackson. He caught Fitchett in midair and planted him in the canvas. Again, unable to follow up with it though, as every big move he uses that arm for just takes it out of him. Fitchett into the corner, but catches a boot courtesy of Jackson. And a head scissor takedown, nicely done by Matt Fitchett. And he is showing this capacity crowd just what he thinks of him, as Fitchett takes down that knee pad. And he charges forward, but he is caught in a fireman's carry by the Quadfather into a Death Valley driver. He follows up with a pin. 2 count only. Matt Fitchett digging down deep as he was able to kick out from that Death Valley driver. I was thinking for sure that was going to finish this matchup, but fighting spirit and the Gunslinger is strong. Jackson feeding off this energy from the capacity crowd here at No Turning Back, as he has a rear waist lock applied. Not sure what he's got planned, but Fitchett fires off 2 elbow strikes and a standing switch. Into the ropes goes Jackson. A roll through with a pin. 2 count only. Fitchett back up to his feet. Into a beautiful armbar by Matt Fitchett. Nicely done, as he is just torquing away on that armbar. That was quite impressive. A textbook jiu-jitsu armbar. Cross armbar by the Gunslinger Matt Fitchett. Camero Jackson back trying to get out of it. Gunslinger has it in tight though. Referee checking for a submission, but none out of Camero Jackson. That arm has got to be at its breaking point to where it can't take any more of this attack by the Gunslinger. Referee checking to see if Camero Jackson is passed out, but no. Jackson firing up here. Fitchett still has a hold of that armbar. And Camero Jackson all power into into a sit-out powerbomb that breaks him free, but he is unable to capitalize. It wouldn't surprise me if Camero Jackson hasn't torn some tendons in that arm. Both men in an impressive outing here in this matchup. Who will be the first to get up to the vertical base? Camero Jackson crawling over to the ropes to get assistance, to get back up to his feet as the Gvnslinger is slow to get up as well. It looks like both men might get up just at the same time. Forearm shot just rocks Matt Fitchett. Fitchett with a forearm shot of his own. Looks like we may see both men trade some blows here. Forearm by Jackson that sends Fitchett crashing down to the canvas. Fitchett, though, with a forearm shot as Camero Jackson is just asking him to hit him. Big European uppercut sends Matt Fitchett down to his ass. Sorry, his rear. Discus punch attempt, no. Couple of kicks. Rear waistlock and a big knife edge chop right to the collarbone of Matt Fitchett. Jackson into the ropes. Waistlock go behind into a snap German suplex by Matt Fitchett. Fitchett into the ropes, but he catches a knife edge chop. A Pele kick attempt, but he's caught this time. And all strength over the shoulder by the powerhouse Camero Jackson. And a super kick that just nailed him on his chin. He goes for that big clothesline, and he nails it that time. That turned Matt Fitchett inside out. We've got a cover. 3, that'll do it. A great matchup by both competitors. But it was that huge burning lariat that just planted Matt Fitchett that secured the victory for the Quadfather, Camero Jackson. Plugging out of the way here, fans. Visit us online at cswwrestling.com. That's our new website, cswwrestling.com. We're also on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're watching us on YouTube now. Look up top. There's that subscribe button. Hit it. Follow us on Twitter, CSWWrestlingKC. That's our handle. Instagram is also CSW Wrestling KC. And Facebook, we are at facebook.com/Central States Wrestling. Fans, coming up next, a number one contenders matchup as Mike Outlaw puts his number one contendership status on the line against newcomer, the Ice Pick, Vic Capri.
I did forget one sponsor before we go to our next match. Uptown Kansas City. Give it up for Uptown Kansas City. And on a serious note, before we get to this next match, man, how do I say this? Jeremy Wyatt, please send your well wishes, your thoughts, your prayers with Jeremy Wyatt's family. All right, guys, here we go. The following match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
and unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Card is always scheduled to change, but one thing that doesn't change is that Mike Outlaw is always ready for a fight. So I drove from St. Louis here. My opponent can't make it. But tonight, I am putting my #1 contendership on the line against Big Capri. And once I'm done with Big Capri, Jeremy Wyatt is next.
And his opponent.
His #1 contendership status on the line against newcomer, the Ice Pick, Vic Capri, in this, our next matchup at No Turning Back. As you know, Mike Outlaw was supposed to meet the Monarch Jeremy Wyatt in a DWF championship match. But Wyatt had a family emergency and had to leave the arena early. So here we are, collar and elbow tie-up to start things off. Both men jockeying for position. Outlaw coming off a tremendous victory at our last show, Dax back against Mysterious Q. We've got another collar and elbow tie-up as Vic Capri takes Outlaw into the corner, but Outlaw reverses. Now Capri reverses. Referee calling for a clean break. We'll see if we get it out of Capri. We will not, as he swings wildly and misses, and Mike Outlaw fires up with some shots and a big knife-edge chop. And a huge right hand to the forehead and temple of Vic Capri. Standing side headlock, down to a knee goes Outlaw. Mike Outlaw, a member of Team Ambition out of St. Louis. As he looks here in this matchup to keep his #1 contendership firmly in his grasp. A very gutsy move to put up that #1 contendership. That is a ticket to a potential championship reign. Side headlock by Capri. Outlaw takes Capri back into the rope, shoots him off. Big shoulder tackle, neither man giving any. Outlaw into the ropes, another big shoulder block. No men budging. Outlaw into the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and a shoulder tackle this time takes Capri down to the canvas. Boot to the midsection, a courtesy of Mike Outlaw, make that 2 and a 3rd for good measure. Now just stomping away at the upper chest of Vic Capri. Capri fighting out of the great city, one of the greatest cities in our country, Chicago, Illinois. a slew of top talent has come out of the Chicago area. As Outlaw trying to drag Capri back into the ring, but Capri had hold of those ropes. He wasn't going anywhere. Both men now face to face. Big forearm shot to the jaw of Capri. Sends him stumbling backwards. Now Capri with a forearm shot of his own. Does the same to Outlaw. An exchange of forearm shots out of both men here. We'll see which one gives first. And a tornado forearm that just floors Vic Capri by that man, Mike Outlaw. Not a wise move to go toe-to-toe with Mike Outlaw. Outlaw backs Capri up into the ropes. Off Capri goes. Back elbow. And Outlaw immediately going for a pinning attempt, getting him right in the center of the ring. Great ring positioning. Awaremanship. That's even a word. Out of Mike Outlaw. Awareness. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. And into that middle turnbuckle goes Mike Outlaw. Capri not endearing him to the fans here at the Camelot Ballroom, but I don't think he cares. That's obvious. Big shot, rocks. Make that 2 shots. Rocking Mike Outlaw there in the corner. Irish whip. Into the corner hard goes Mike Outlaw. That was a great display of power by Vic Capri. Fans still to come in our card tonight. We've got Dirty Jake Dirden with Roscoe Leach taking on, well, we got to cover 2 count only. Now, as I was saying, Dirty Jake Dirden with Roscoe Leach taking on the Haymaker Jamison Holley. The Mile High Magnum Draper will be locking horns with the Spitfire Davy Vega. And after 5 long months of ducking and dodging and all of that good stuff, the Kings Road Slayer will meet up finally with Moonshine Mantell, along with Moonshine's new manager, Greg Jobai, and of course our huge main event, a Kansas City street fight, no holds barred, falls count anywhere. As the Howletts, Hoodie and Anaya take on the premier, S.K. Bishop and Campbell Myers. Back to the match at hand. Vic Capri in control here as he's choking away with assistance from that middle rope. Mike Outlaw. Capri going right back after Outlaw, bringing him up with a handful of hair. And fires up a nice overhand right. But Outlaw firing back one of his own. Outlaw fighting to get back into this ring here and get some momentum going in this matchup. And Outlaw draping Capri over that top rope. Rope first. That'll definitely change the complexion of this matchup. Whip into the corner goes Capri. Outlaw charges forward but finds nobody there. Capri into the ropes and comes out with a huge kick. That boot right to the side of the face of Mike Outlaw. Outlaw into the ropes. Catches a basement drop kick courtesy of Mike Outlaw. right to that knee, the upper part of his knee. Outlaw desperately needs to capitalize on this, but he is struggling to get back up to his feet. He manages to do so with assistance from the ropes. Front face lock. Looks like we might be getting a suplex out of Mike Outlaw. 3 blocks. And blocks once more. And a nice suplex out of Capri, who remains in control of this match. We've got a cover. 2 count only. Capri on the apron now, going up to the top rope. What does he have in store here? High-risk maneuver coming up. And he signals to the crowd that this may be over. Off he goes, diving headbutt, but nobody home as Outlaw able to get out of the way just in the nick of time. Capri connected with that diving headbutt. That would have certainly spelled the end of this matchup for Mike Outlaw. He was close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as my granddad always used to say. Big knife edge chop by Mike Outlaw, who's building up some offense here, as he is taking him on a tour of turnbuckles. Him being Vic Capri. Irish whip, no reversal by Capri. Outlaw fires up, though, with a big clothesline, taking Capri down to the canvas. According to Ben Miller, we've got 10 minutes left in this matchup of the time limit. We've got a DDT and a cover. 2 count only. Counting 2. The crowd seems to think it was a 3 count, as does Mike Outlaw. It was definitely close. That is for sure, as we got a half crab attempt by Outlaw coming up possibly. But Capri kicking off on the face of Outlaw. Breaks free from that submission predicament. Outlaw going right back to that leg, that single leg. Capri with a couple of right hands to the jaw. Manages to break free again. And again, Outlaw going back to that leg. The back of that knee and hamstring of Vic Capri. Capri with an inside cradle. 2 count only. Clothesline takes Capri down. We've got a hook of the leg and a cover. 2 count only. Big wild shot missed. And a dragon suplex by Vic Capri. Nicely done. Capri up to his feet into the ropes. And a big boot right to the side of the head. Finds its mark. Slice spread number 2 attempt, no. Outlaw able to get out of it, and right onto that injured leg or damaged knee. You saw Capri favoring it. Front face lock. Suplex attempt. No, he just drops Capri down on the canvas, shoulder first. 2 count only. Both men feeling the effects of this hard-hitting matchup, as neither capitalizing on the other's prone position. Mike Outlaw using the ropes for assistance to get back up to his feet. It looks like he is going to go for a high-risk maneuver here as he climbs up to the top rope. But Capri greets him with the right hand. That stopped any plans that Outlaw may have had. Looks Looks like we might get a superplex from Capri. No, a middle rope suplex, but Outlaw holding on for dear life. He's blocking that attempt at the middle rope suplex. Fires up a big forearm shot, make that 2 right across the shoulder blades of Capri. And a headbutt that sends Capri down to the canvas. Outlaw still up on those ropes, but Capri follows through and a big body slam from the top rope. That sent Mike Outlaw crashing to the canvas and a big boot right to the back of the head of Mike Outlaw. We've got a cover. That's good for 2. Lock by Capri. What does he have in mind? Step through, no reversal by Outlaw. Outlaw with a knee breaker, holds onto that leg, and a corkscrew leg whip. And once again, he went for it earlier, that half crab. It looks like he's trying for it. He's got it now right in the center of the ring. A half crab nicely applied as he just wrenches away on that damaged knee of Vic Capri. Will Vic Capri tap out? Capri trying to get to that bottom rope. He's inches away, but no, Outlaw drags him right back into the center of the ring. Capri doing everything he can, but no, he taps out. Trying to avoid any more damage to that knee. Your winner and still #1 contender. Sponsored by Top Tier Figures, Mike Outlaw. Mike Outlaw is sponsored by Bottom to Top Cleaning Services. But we'll plug everybody. We love all of our sponsors. Bottom to Top Cleaning Services, you can find them on Facebook. Just do a search for Bottom to Top Cleaning Services. They are the best cleaning service, house cleaning service in Kansas City. They just cleaned out my house when I moved out and did a fantastic job. The Ice Pick Vic Capri in an impressive showing. Although he did lose, I got to imagine we will be seeing more of him in Central States Wrestling. All right, fans, in our next matchup, the Haymaker Jamison Holley, sponsored by Top Tier Figures, will be locking horns with Dir-dey Jake Dirden along with his manager, Roscoe Leach. Let's get down to Ben Miller for introductions.
Start of this next match is brought to you by Top Tier Figures, and it's scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
Member of the Leach Talent Agency is being led to the ring by Roscoe Leach, his agent, that man, Dir-dey Jake Dirden. In case you weren't paying any attention to our ring announcer, Ben Miller, he stands 6'8", he weighs 321 pounds, and he hails from Blackwater, Missouri. He is mad, bad, and dangerous to know, as he will be taking on the Haymaker, Jamison Holley, here in our next matchup at No Turning Back. This matchup is being brought to you by Top Tier Figures. You can find out about more at Top Tier Figures. They customize, merge, and create action figures for all ages by using different techniques, types of materials, so on. They work with several other unique artists on projects, so they can pretty much create any kind of action figure you want, custom action figures. They are great guys, so visit them on Facebook at Top Tier Figures or visit their website at toptierfigures.com. Jake Dirden standing in the center of the ring waiting on the arrival of the Haymaker Jamison Holley. As two big men will be going head-to-head in this contest.
And his opponent.
As we await the arrival of the Haymaker. Favorite making his second appearance here for Central States Wrestling. They have to get used to saying that again. Is that man, the Haymaker Jamison Holley, fighting out of the great state of Texas. He's definitely giving up a height advantage and a little bit of weight, but nonetheless, two powerhouses that are going to lock horns here at no turning back. This capacity crowd at the Camelot Ballroom letting Jake Dirden know exactly what they think of him, and Jamison Holley letting him know what they think of him. Big shot blocked. Holley firing off some right hands. He goes behind Dirden. Looks like he might have been going for a headlock. No, arm wringer. And into a side headlock. Nicely done by Jamison Holley. As Holley signaling for those noogies, but he's shot off into the ropes. He fires off a kick to the chest of Jake Dirden, dodges a clothesline, and grabs that headlock again. And there are those noogies that Jamison Holley is famous for in his matchups. Holley will be looking for his signature hold, the claw, to finish this matchup, as Jake Dirden has a number of ways to beat his opponents, namely a choke slam and a spear. Big clothesline sends Jake Dirden up and over that top rope, courtesy of Jamison Holley. And Dirden is not happy at all. And now Roscoe Leach getting into the ring. What's he got to watch out for Roscoe Leach, as it looks like he wants to square off against Jamison Holley, which wouldn't be a smart move by Roscoe Leach. This capacity crowd, no, a handful of mustache by Roscoe Leach. And Jamison Holley returns the favor. We've got I guess a Greco-Roman mustache lock here in the center of the ring. Referee in to get Roscoe Leach there out of the ring as he separates both men. Holley shaking off the effects, and now Dirden with the handful of the mustache as he just wrenches away on it. That cannot feel good at all. And now Holley with a handful of Dirden's beard. Referee just allowing this to happen, but such is life. And Dirden goes right to the eyes to break that hold and fires off a big forearm shot that just rocks that chin of Jamison Holley. A series of forearm shots. And now that big size 18 boot doing damage to Jamison Holley. Dirden bringing Holley back up to the vertical base. And a big frying pan chop lights up the chest of Holley. As Jamison Holley's not faring out so well currently in the early goings of this matchup. Knife edge chop. And that echoed through the Camelot Ballroom here in Overland Park, Kansas. Got to imagine they heard that in downtown Kansas City. Dirden was stalking Jamison Holley and now just going to the eyes again. He's taking full advantage of the referee's 5 count. Jamison Holley not only has to deal with Dirty Jake Dirden on the inside of the ring, but he's got to deal with Roscoe Leach on the outside. He's going to have his hands full here tonight as he's shot off into the ropes and greeted with the meat of the breadbasket. And off into the ropes, Holley goes again with another knee, right to the breadbasket again. Jake Dirden very methodical in his attack in his matches as he levels Jamison Holley with a sidewalk slam. As he now hooks that leg, we've got a cover. 2 count only. Saw there the red welts from those huge chops up on the chest there of Jamison Holley. You'll likely hear me bounce back and forth between Jamison and Jamie Holley. Jamie is, of course, short for Jamison, as Holley finds himself in a rear chin lock. Dirden asking the referee to see if Holley wants to give up. I don't think you're going to get that out of Holley anytime soon. You can see Jake Dirden leaning forward on Jamison Holley, putting his weight on him. So not only is that chin lock taking it out of Holley, the weight being, the pressure of the weight of Jake Dirden is also making it difficult for Holley to catch his breath, but Holley's back up to his feet. He fires off a series of back elbows, hits the ropes, float over by Holley, into the ropes, roll through by Jamison Holley, but he catches a boot right to the chest. Wasn't the exact target I think Dirden was looking for, as he was looking for the jaw or the side of the head or the face, but it was effective nonetheless. Big headbutt courtesy of Jake Dirden sends Holley crashing to the canvas, and he's out in no man's land, swinging wildly, as Dirden once again stalking Holley, and now just choking him with that middle rope. And now Roscoe Leach. This is what I was talking about earlier. You got to watch out for Roscoe Leach, ever the opportunist. This might as well be a 2-on-1 handicap match. Dirden brings Holley back up to the vertical base. Fires off another vicious headbutt. And we got a hook of the leg and a cover. 2 count only. And our last show, Dax Back, in January, which you can watch on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Central States Wrestling. Gotta get used to saying that too again. Jake Dirden and Rex Amado took on technical difficulties. They were on the losing end of that match, as technical difficulties was victorious in that match. So Dirden looking to get back into the win column here tonight at no turning back, as Holley charges in, ducks a double axe handle, comes off with a shoulder tackle, flying shoulder tackle, nicely done. That takes Dirden off his feet. Holley charges forward, clothesline into the corner, as he is signaling for that claw hold. And will he get it? Yes, he will. Claw hold. Jake Dirden might be submitting here in this matchup, but now Roscoe Leach up on the canvas, distracting the referee. But a claw for Roscoe Leach as well. We got a double claw. Dirden breaks the hold, and Roscoe Leach in his pocket with that horseshoe of his just crowned Jamison Holley. Dirden with a big spear. And a 3 count. as Dirty Jake Dirden, thanks in large part to his agent Roscoe Leach, is victorious here in this matchup. Dirden back in the winning column, which means Roscoe Leach will be getting paid more tonight as he takes, rumor has it, 25-30% of his clients' payoffs. Jamison Holley is just on Dream Street there. Holley will live to fight another day as Jake Dirden and Roscoe Leach make their way back to the locker room area. Fans coming up next, a match months, and when I say months, I mean months in the making. The Kings Road Slayer, Derek Neal, will finally get his hands on Moonshine Mantell.
DWF, I hear the rumors, I hear the lies. Everybody says that Moonshine Mantell has been ducking Derek Neal. Well, I am here to set the record straight. My name, if you are not aware, is Greg Jovi. I represent Moonshine Mantell all across this great nation. And that is exactly what he has needed here. He has needed somebody to come in and represent him, to talk on his behalf, to make sure the contracts are okay. It has nothing to do with big bad Derek Neal. Moonshine Mantell goes all across this country whooping bigger and badder than Derek Neal. And that's exactly what he's going to do April 9th when he shows up to DWF. The contract is right. The time is right. Moonshine Mantell is coming back to DWF, and Derek Neal, he is coming straight for you, Daddy. So if you don't know, you better get ready. You better be in the gym, you better be training, because Moonshine Mantell is there every day. And he's coming to DWF to whoop that ass April 9th.
As the old saying goes, timing is everything. So the contract's right, the money's right, and the timing is finally right for you, ain't it, Moonshine Mantell? And you have finally signed on that dotted line. The Kings Road Slayer, Derek Neal, Moonshine Mantell are going to collide in Kansas City, baby, and we're going to do battle in the squared circle. Greg Jovi, I have to thank you. I want to personally shake your hand when I arrive to the Camelot Ballroom April 9th for reaching your hand into your jar and giving Moonshine Mantell his balls back to come fight me in that ring. I'm tired of doing all this talking. I am tired of all the fun and games. Moonshine, I had my back turned. You attacked me like a coward. You sent 2 goons to collect a bounty on my head, Moonshine. And the only thing that happened was their mouths wrote checks that their asses couldn't cash. And on April 9th, when that bell rings, and it's you and me staring across the ring from one another, your ass belongs to me. I'll see you on April 9th.
All right, guys, you having a good time so far? Are you guys ready for the main event later tonight? Man, that is going to be...
Whoa! As far as I'm concerned, son, the main event is right now. I've got something on my mind, and before you say anything else, I'm going to say it out loud just to see how it feels. See, if you don't know who I am, down the street, my name was True Gold. When I was born, this is Joe Black, Baby,
and his opponent.
That many fans here at the Camelot Ballroom and fans of Central States Wrestling never thought they'd see happen. I've got to admit myself, I never thought we'd see this matchup happen. That man, the Kings Road Slayer, Derek Neal, taking on Moonshine Mantell in this, our next matchup at No Turning Back. These two were supposed to originally meet up back in November at our event Aftermath, which is available on our YouTube channel in full, the whole show. But it was Moonshine Mantell faking an arm injury, getting out of that matchup, and then they were supposed to meet up at our January show, Dax back, but Moonshine Mantell backed out of that one. But now here we are. It's April, and this matchup is going to happen as Moonshine Mantell and Greg Jovi are getting their battle plan together. And a huge shot that rocks the jaw, just rocks Moonshine Mantell as the Kings Road Slayer just fires off some machine gun chops on the outside there and is just stomping away. Derek Neal has been waiting 5 months to get his hands on Moonshine Mantell and is not wasting any time here in the opening moments of this matchup, getting after Moonshine Mantell. Big shot right to the bridge of the nose. And another huge left hand from the southpaw, Derek Neal. Moonshine Mantell's new manager, Greg Jovi, on the outside, giving words of encouragement to his client there, but must be falling on deaf ears because Derek Neal is all over Moonshine Mantell. Big knife-edge chop lights up the chest of Moonshine Mantell. This is sure to be just a big matchup, heavy-hitting matchup out of both men, but thus far it's all Derek Neal. Exploder suplex out of the corner. Nicely done by Derek Neal as he drives that knee right into the clavicle and has a cover. Only a 1 count as Moonshine Mantell able to kick out. Front face lock. Jovi up on the apron there, distracting the referee. It looked like Neal was going for that fisherman's buster that he likes to use to put opponents away with, trying to make short work of Moonshine Mantell. Mantell back up to his feet, fires up a big mafia kick that just sends Derek Neal outside, tumbling outside, crashing to the floor here at the Camelot Ballroom. Boltman now back to the outside of the ring. Big knife-edge chop by Moonshine Mantell as he fires off 2 in a row and gets back in. Big right hand finds its mark, sends Derek Neal crashing down to the floor. Neal now with a bear hug and just drives the small of the back into the ring apron of Derek Neal. Derek Neal back into the ring as Moonshine Mantell stomps away at that lower back and into the midsection as he is just stomping away and now just putting the pressure of that knee right into the collarbone of the Kings Road Slayer. Both of these competitors are just no-nonsense, brute force wrestlers. Beautiful belly-to-belly suplex. Cover. 2 count only. Both men coming in right around that 250, 260 pound range. As Neal firing off some shots to the chest. Back elbows to the chest and a big left hand. Finds its mark. And another huge left hand just echoing through the Camelot Ballroom. Whipping to the ropes, no reversal by Moonshine. As he just a beautiful textbook drop kick that levels Derek Neal. As big a man as Derek Neal, or I'm sorry, as Moonshine Mantell is, both men are big men. But that drop kick, all elevation, all impact. Irish whip into the corner goes Neal as he just collapses and it grabs at that lower back that Moonshine Mantell had focused his attack on earlier. Suplex, courtesy of Moonshine Mantell, lands Derek Neal right into the center of the ring, into the ropes, and a nice elbow drop right across the lower chest of Derek Neal. Gets a 2 count for it as Neal kicks out with 1 second to spare. Neal with the overhand chop. Make that 2 chops, 3 chops, 4 chops. And a big left hand, front face lock into a suplex attempt, possibly, yeah. Suplex up and over goes Moonshine Mantell, but he holds on for dear life and fires off a forearm shot right down the spine of Derek Neal. Now Moonshine going up out of the top rope and a big flying shoulder block. Turns Neal inside out. Moonshine rolling Neal over. We've got a cover. 2 count only. Sellout crowd here at the Camelot Ballroom all over the case of Moonshine Mantell with that Moonshine sucks chant. Moonshine with a handful of hair, scoops the big man up, slams Neal down, drives that knee right into the back, hooks the arm, and now just torquing away at the arm of Derek Neal. Neal coming back up to the vertical base, fires off a shot to the breadbasket of Moonshine Mantell, a series of shots, breaks free, hits the ropes, ducks the sledgehammer attempt, and a big shoulder tackle, flying shoulder tackle of his own, and a knife-edge chop sends Moonshine Mantell crashing down to the canvas. And a nice belly-to-back suplex, high angle, and now he drops the elbow across the back, upper back, and hooks the leg. Gets a 2 count for his efforts. Very close to a 3 count, but Moonshine Mantell digging down deep and kicking out with milliseconds to spare. Front face lock, looks like Neal going for that fisherman's buster, unable to get it as Moonshine with a huge shot, forearm shot right to the jaw of Derek Neal. He charges in but catches the back elbow of Neal. Neal now charging forward. Huge spine buster by Moonshine Mantell plants Derek Neal right in the center of the ring, taking any momentum away from Derek Neal. As Moonshine brings Neal back up to his feet, front face lock into a corkscrew suplex. Nicely done. We've got a cover. 2 count only. I don't think Moonshine Mantell anticipated him being Derek Neal kicking out from that series of moves. But Neal, with that fighting spirit, digging down and kicking out nonetheless. No love lost between Derek Neal and Moonshine Mantell here, as you can tell. As Moonshine Mantell setting Neal up for something, but Neal able to counterbalance, get over to the ropes, catches a forearm right between the shoulder blades, or right across the shoulder blades. big right hand, left hand, right hand. These series of shots just firing up Derek Neal, it seems, as Neal throws Moonshine into the ropes, fires off a knife-edge chop. A series of knife-edge chops just lighting up the chest of Moonshine Mantell. Irish whip into the corner, up and over goes Moonshine. He charges forward and a big shoulder tackle or shoulder block right into the breadbasket, followed up by a chop and a forearm. Another chop, another big forearm shot. And Neal is in a bad way here. Moonshine into the ropes. Go behind by Derek Neal. Neal charges forward. And a huge series of chops and strikes by Derek Neal. Schoolboy by Moonshine. 2 count only. And a huge left hand courtesy of the Kings Road Slayer as he sets up for that Fisherman's Buster. He lands it. All he has to do is get over there and cover Moonshine Mantell, and this match will likely be over. Got a hook of the leg and a cover. But Greg Jovi with the foot of Moonshine Mantell, putting it on the ropes and calling the referee's attention. That broke up that count. I got to imagine, had Jovi not been there, that this match would be over. Kings Road Slayer not happy about this at all, as this matchup was essentially won, or was in his hands to win, as he fires off a huge left-hand shot and a series of chops and shots right in that corner. Referee breaking it up. As Boltman now, we got ourselves a hoss fight right in the center of the ring, as they shove the referee out of the way. And the referee calling for the bell. Looks like, I'm not sure what the referee's decision is here, but he's called for the bell, likely for both men putting their hands on the referee. Both men being disqualified for shoving the referee. It's a no contest, as they're still going at it. Big shots courtesy of Derek Neal, as the referee's now in to separate these two hosses. Certainly not the outcome Derek Neal wanted in this matchup, but the outcome we got nonetheless, as he is just firing away on Moonshine Mantell. Greg Jovi in the ring with that strap, as he just cracks that strap, that leather strap of Derek Neal's across the back of the Kings Road Slayer. Moonshine Mantell charging in with a double axe handle right to the middle of the shoulder blades, and stomps away for good measure. Moonshine Mantell saving Greg Jovi's hide there, as it looked like Derek Neal was getting ready to do bad things to Greg Jovi. I guarantee you we have not seen the last out of Moonshine Mantell and Derek Neal. These two will go at it. Well, Derek Neal's going to, I got to imagine, demand another matchup so he can get a victory over Moonshine Mantell. The Kings Road Slayer not happy at all with the outcome of this matchup. Fans, our next matchup of the evening will see the Mile High Magnum Draper, sponsored by Uptown Kansas City, taking on the Miracle Worker, now known as Spitfire, Davy Vega, and this our next matchup.
All right, guys, we are so close to the main event tonight, but we got one more match. Are you guys ready for one more match before our main event? Hell yeah, this following match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit.
Draper. He is being sponsored tonight by Uptown Kansas City. Uptown Kansas City, located in downtown Kansas City in the Crossroads District. If you're ever in Kansas City or if you live in Kansas City, definitely go by. Great pizza, great drinks, great arcade games, and more. You can visit them on their Facebook page, facebook.com/UpdownKC. Give them a like and a follow, or you can visit them online at updownarcadebar.com. The always popular Mile High Magnum Dak Draper taking on Spitfire Davy Vega in this our next matchup at No Turning Back. At our last show, Dak's back. Dak Draper unsuccessfully challenged the DWF champion Jeremy Wyatt for that championship. And the Spitfire Davy Vega, he was unsuccessful in his bid against the Kings Road Slayer Neal. So both men looking to get back into the winning column here in CSW. Spitfire Davy Vega representing Grindhouse with his tag team partner, the gunslinger Matt Fitchett, who we saw earlier this evening. And a waistlock that takes Spitfire down to the canvas as Draper using his power and size advantage, and size to his advantage. My apologies. A little bit of a roll around by the Mile High Magnum into a front face lock. And now a gator roll by Draper as he is just having his way with Davy Vega early on in this matchup. Big swing and a miss on that knife edge chop as Davy Vega bails out to the outside of the ring. Collect his thoughts and reevaluate his game plan here, but Dak Draper giving chase. We've got a foot race on the outside of the ring here. Vega back into the ring as he charges forward with an elbow drop, finds nobody home as Draper gets out of the way. Draper with a single leg takedown. And into a handstand to a knee drop. Nicely done. A nice display of athleticism by Dak Draper. Gets a 2 count for his efforts. Fans still to come. Our main event, which is next. The big street fight between the Howletts and the Premier. As Dak Draper finds himself in a precarious position, courtesy of the Spitfire Davy Vega. Vega charges through, basement drop kick. Just crushes the chest of Dak Draper. Vega now on the attack as he's going to work on that hamstring of Draper. Now wrenching that knee across the top rope. Referee Nick Chen making sure that that hold is broken as Draper is just tangled up into that top rope, that top turnbuckle, and Davy Vega going to work on the leg and chest of the Mile High Magnum. Not a wise move to be showboating by Davy Vega, but nonetheless, that's what we get out of the Spitfire as he goes to work again on the hamstring of the Mile High Magnum. Big shot by Vega and another kick. As it's obviously Vega's plan of attack to take the wheels out from the big man, Dak Draper. Smart move as Draper fires off a shot to the midsection and comes through with a nice schoolboy. Gets a 2 count. Vega back up to his feet, fires off a big boot right to the sternum of Dak Draper. Vega again taking time to showboat and rub it in. Big clubbing forearm right across the shoulder blades of the Mile High Magnum, and now Vega just choking Magnum, the Mile High Magnum on that middle rope. Dak with the shot to the breadbasket. Fires off a nice right hand. Make that 2. But Vega returning the favor and a nice super kick that just drops Dak Draper down to the canvas. And more showboating out of Davy Vega. We've got a cover. 2 count only. Without that showboating, he might have had a 3. And a win here at no turning back. Vega now again, not capitalizing, and that's going to cost him here. It would seem to me that he would want to follow up quickly on these offensive maneuvers as he gets a knife-edge chop right across the chest as Draper coming in and firing off a second knife-edge chop. But Vega going right back to work on that leg. Vega taking his time now. It looks like he's stepping in for a sharpshooter. Can he get the long legs of Dak Draper up? No, Draper firing off some axe kicks that broke him free. Draper up and over. Fires off a shoulder block to the midsection. Comes in with a sunset flip into a pin. 2 count only. Big clothesline by the Mile High Magnum. And a big boot finds its mark. And he drives that the face of Davy Vega into the knee. Springboard back elbow. Textbook Dak Draper. As he kips up, you can see he's favoring that left leg of his. Dak Draper now, front face lock. Looks like he might be going for that Dak lift suplex. That deadlift suplex. Yeah, there he goes. Deadlift suplex. Nicely done. We've got a hook of the leg and a cover. 2 and 3. No. Very close to a 3 count. Looks like Dak Draper thought so as well. But no, it was as close as you're going to get. Following that deadlift suplex, it takes a lot of strength and even more importantly, a lot of energy to perform that deadlift suplex. But now, looks like the Mile High Magnum's going for his Magnum KO. Can he hit it? No, he collapses under the weight of that hurt leg. Inside cradle only gets Davy Vega a 2 count. Go behind by Dak Draper. Standing switch by Davy Vega into the ropes. Roll through. 2 count only. And a big knee strike finds its mark. We got a cover. 2 and 3. No. Dak Draper digging down deep, kicking out with milliseconds to spare.
Oh, you're the worst rep ever.
It's been a great night of action here at the rebirth of Central States Wrestling. Here at No Turning Back, we've still got our huge main event to go as the Spitfire now going up to the top rope. A little slow to go as Draper makes his way back up to his feet, fires up a right-hand shot. And now Draper looking like he might go up to that middle turnbuckle, possibly even to the top rope. As he's just firing off shot after shot. Davy Vega down on the apron, fires off a step-in kick right to the face, chest area of Dak Draper, and now Vega up on the top rope. What does he have planned? Double stomp off the top rope. That should do it. We got a cover. Very close to a 3 count, and again Dak Draper kicking out with just milliseconds to spare. Davy Vega shocked by that as he, with that double stomp from the top rope, just obliterated the sternum and chest of Dak Draper. Fireman's carry by Davy Vega. Dak Draper fighting free. Looks like he might be going for that Magnum, or I'm sorry, the Mile High Bomb. But Vega breaks free and he fires off a kick right to the face, gets that boot up. Springboard crossbody. He's caught though by the Mile High Magnum. Dak Draper now, fireman's carry. Magnum KO finds its mark. And that's it, fans. The winner of this matchup, the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper. Again, we'd like to thank Dak Draper's sponsor this evening, Up Down Kansas City. Visit them at facebook.com/UpDownKC. Give them a like and a follow. If you're in the Kansas City area, definitely go down to the Crossroads District in downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and tell them that CSW sent you as we gear up for our next matchup, the big main event coming up next.
So Moonshine Mantell, you want to get your goon, Greg Jovi, to come hit me with old Shirley right here. I'm sick and tired of the games, Moonshine. You tried to run from me all night in our fight out there. And I'm challenging you. I'm laying down the gauntlet. You and me. 10 foot long of cowhide. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, Moonshine. Just you and me, baby. We're going to find out who the better man is May 14th. Now, do you have the sack to show up and strap up or not?
Fans, it is time for your main event of the evening. A no-holds-barred Falls Count Anywhere Kansas City street fight that will see the Howletts, Hoodie and Anaya take on the Premier, SK Bishop and Campbell Myers in this, our main event that is sponsored by Kincaid Arcade in Overland Park. Visit them online at kincaid-kc.com. Let's get down to Ben Miller for the introductions. Their way to the ringside area for this, our main event here at No Turning Back, a street fight as they will be meeting the Howletts. This matchup is sponsored by Kincaid. You can visit Kincaid online at kincaid-kc.com. They are located in Oak Park Mall in Overland Park, Kansas. Kincaid Arcade is a retro-style arcade filled with tons of classics from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. You can leave those quarters at home because all of their games are free to play. All you have to do is purchase an all-day wristband, then dive into unlimited gaming. That's kincaid-kc.com. We want to thank them for sponsoring this main event. Thank all of our sponsors sponsors this evening: Hulnick, Stang, Gering, and Leavitt Law Firm, Warriors Academy KC, Kincaid, Fast Signs of Overland Park, Uptown Kansas City, Classic Tattoo and Body Piercing, Light Sleeper Tattoo Company, Top Tier Figures, and Bottom to Top Cleaning Services. Thank you all for sponsoring wrestlers and this event this evening. As the tribe, the Howlett brothers, Hoodie and Anaya, with their coach, the owner of Warriors Academy, Faraz Azab, as a trash can is just thrown right into the face, and we are off to the races. That trash can connecting with all impact to Hoodie Howlett. Now Anaya, his brother, slapping him and getting focus as both men charge into the ring, and we are going full tilt boogie to start this street fight matchup off. Springboard, but it looked like SK Bishop lost his footing, didn't catch all that back elbow as Anaya fires off a European uppercut. Fans, I'm going to do my best to stay up with all the action, as are our cameramen, here in this street fight. No love lost whatsoever between these two tag teams. Both teams sharing victories over one another here in Central States Wrestling. Anything goes in this Kansas City street fight. As SK Bishop with a boot sends Anaya out to the outside of the ring there. That leaves Hoodie Howlett alone in the ring. We've got knife edge chops. SK Bishop charges forward. He's caught by Anaya. Anaya full steam spins that spine of SK Bishop right into the steel post. As Campbell Myers there with a tope suicida that connects. Nicely done by Campbell Myers. The Premier, definitely the crowd favorites here at the Camelot Ballroom. They were the ones that challenged the Premier, the Premier were the ones that challenged the Howletts to this street fight, which was surprising to me, as Anaya now with a table coming out from under the ring. As Hoodie Howlett fires off a huge right hand that rocks Campbell Myers. Again, the Premier surprisingly challenged the Howletts to this Kansas City street fight. Not a matchup that the Premier is used to by any stretch of the imagination. This is right at home. This match favors the Howletts. As we've got a split here with the teams, we're going to, like I said, keep up with both of them. Our cameramen are going to do the best they can to keep up with all the action as Hoodie Howlett just fires a huge forearm shot right across the shoulder blades of Campbell Myers. Myers now over those guardrails. And here we go, fans. This match has just spilled out into the Camelot Ballroom. I apologize here as our cameramen are trying to get caught up. We do have a camera here with, who is that, Hoodie and Campbell Myers. As Hoodie's just raking that forearm right across the eyes of Campbell Myers. Anything goes, no holds barred in this Kansas City street fight as Anaya teeing off on SK Bishop. This rivalry has been simmering for quite some time now between the Howletts and the Premier. Front face lock, as it looks like no reversal. Campbell Myers suplexing Hoodie onto the hard floor here, but he catches a boot out of nowhere from Anaya. Like I was saying, this rivalry has been simmering, and now it is just at a boil. And a big right hand rocks Anaya, courtesy of Campbell Myers. Hoodie Howlett down there, as Myers now focusing his attention to, and a nice kick, spinning kick, finds its mark. And now back over to Bishop and Anaya. Anaya there. Fans, this is getting a little difficult to keep up with the action as we're going back and forth. Campbell Myers there, focusing his attack on Hoodie Howlett, and Anaya here with SK Bishop as these two are just slugging it out. Knife edge chop by Hoodie Howlett. As Howlett now teeing off on Campbell Myers, and Anaya with the big knife edge chop to the chest of SK Bishop. Anaya following Bishop, and now Hoodie up on a chair. What's he got in mind? Comes off with a big elbow drop, and he's trying to get over for a cover, but didn't look like he was going to be able to. And it looked like SK Bishop just bit the fingers of Anaya Howlett. Back over to the other side of the Camelot Ballroom, SK Bishop and Anaya. But now Hoodie with a trash can rams it right into the face of Myers. Anaya grabbing anything he can to use as a weapon, including a fan's poster, to no avail. Now over into the concession stand goes SK Bishop and Anaya Howlett. No, they're back. Actually, they're back in the back, behind the curtain there, fighting all over the arena. And it's Hoodie Howlett and Campbell Myers that are over near the concession stand. Big cross-arm strike, forearm strike by Anaya Howlett as he's going to town on SK Bishop, and now Hoodie Howlett over here with Campbell Myers. We are just bouncing back and forth between the action. Sellout crowd here at the Camelot Ballroom. Our first official sellout. Front face lock by Anaya Howlett. A big right hand rocks SK Bishop courtesy of Anaya. Now, let's see, we got Campbell Myers and Hoodie Howlett slugging it out on the back towards the ring, closer to the ring. We might be able to get this match back in the ring, but now Hoodie Howlett with a Singapore cane drives it right down the back of Myers. Hoodie Howlett enjoying dishing out punishment. Like I said, this Kansas City street fight is right up the Howlett's alley. As now Hoodie Howlett with a cookie sheet. No, it was Campbell Myers that got that cookie sheet. And another shot with it, rocking Hoodie Howlett, but now a standing super kick. But Anaya comes in out of nowhere with a cookie sheet of his own and just destroys Campbell Myers. The bodies of Campbell Myers and Hoodie Howlett just sprawled out on the hardwood floor here at the Camelot Ballroom. SK Bishop coming in for the save on his partner and cracks that cookie sheet down across the skull as that echoed all through the Camelot Ballroom. Now SK Bishop with that cookie sheet, and he greets that cookie sheet right across the head of Hoodie Howlett. The Premier holding their own in this street fight. Like I said, they're completely out of their element. They were the challengers to this Kansas City street fight as SK Bishop just rammed Anaya Howlett right into that steel post. But they are, like I said, the Premier are holding their own, doing quite well. What I thought would be a fairly short matchup dominated by the Howletts has been pretty even-keeled thus far. And now we're finally back into the ring. We might be able to keep up with the action quite a bit better as that was Anaya tossing that trash can into the ring. What do the Howletts have in store for Campbell Myers with that trash can? As Hoodie brings Campbell Myers up, front face lock, possibly a suplex. Yeah, it looks like a suplex attempt. No, he drapes Campbell Myers and Anaya just with a power slam right on, crushing the spine of Campbell Myers on that trash can and flattening that trash can. He got a 2 count for his effort as Campbell Myers digging down deep, fighting through what has to be an immense amount of pain to kick out. SK Bishop charges forward and goes after both Howlett brothers. He hits the ropes. Big double hip toss, knee drop, leg drop. Big splash by Anaya and a senton bomb by Hoodie Howlett. We've got a cover. That should do it. 2 count only as SK Bishop now digging down deep and kicking out with half a second to spare. The Howletts, they know how to street fight, but They've also been training at the Warriors Academy by their coach, Frazazab. My apologies, Fraz. They have been training in Muay Thai kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and just straight boxing. As now Anaya bringing that chair down across the prone SK Bishop. As Hoodie Howlett just throwing in chair after chair. The Howletts spending time again at Warriors Academy with their coach, Frazazab, refining their fighting styles. Not sure that they're using much of it here, as this is a street fight, but it's a good game plan to be more well-rounded nonetheless. All those chairs in the center of the ring there, well, over to the side of the ring there. But they're thrown in by Hoodie Howlett. What's Hoodie doing now? He's got Campbell Myers and just slams his head down into the ring announcer's table. SK Bishop in a bad way here. I'm not sure what the Howletts have in store for SK Bishop here, but it can't be good as Hoodie Howlett's perched up on that top rope. And Anaya with SK Bishop. It looks like they're setting up for guerrilla warfare, one of their signature moves. If they hit this match is over, especially onto those chairs. But a necktie head scissor and a Singapore cane greets Anaya Howlett, courtesy of that man, Campbell Myers. Hoodie Howlett still perched up on that top rope. It looks like he might be going for a tornado suplex onto those chairs. As Hoodie now slow to get over to make the cover. He manages to do so. He hooks that leg. And very close to a 3 count, but only 2. Give it up to SK Bishop for being able to kick out following that tornado suplex. And now Anaya Howlett busted open, likely from that shot from the Singapore cane, courtesy of Campbell Myers. As Hoodie now arranging furniture. He's got that chair, as you can see, set up, but now Campbell Myers with that Singapore cane right to the midsection. And another shot by SK Bishop, make that 2, and a double enziguri by the Premier, nicely done. And just pie-faced, make that 2 shotgun pie-faced chair shots to the face of Hoodie Howlett, who is now just sat in that corner. And a big drop kick just takes that chair and drives it into the face of Hoodie Howlett. The Premier firmly back in control of this street fight. The Premier showing me a lot, and to the sold-out crowd here at the Camelot Ballroom. Showing them a lot in this Kansas City street fight, as now Anaya tries to make his way into the ring, but is greeted by a boot courtesy of Bishop. And now Hoodie Howlett busted open, and the blood is pouring out of the head of Hoodie Howlett from that drop-kicked chair to the face, and it looks like Campbell Myers has some handcuffs. He does. And it looks like they're going to handcuff Hoodie Howlett to that bottom rope. They'll make that the middle rope. This does not bode well for Hoodie Howlett or his brother Anaya. If they can get those handcuffs fastened to that top rope, it looks like Campbell might be struggling with it a little bit. As SK Bishop now choking the life out of Hoodie Howlett, who is just a bloody, bloody mess. As Anaya now with that Singapore cane, the Premier doesn't know he's back in the ring. Big shot to the breadbasket of Campbell Myers. A duck by SK Bishop. SK Bishop with a boot to the midsection. Front face lock. No, but it's just a throw over by Anaya Howlett, who is just a man possessed. And you can see the blood flowing from both Howletts in that shot. Charge forward by Anaya. Another charge forward with 2 European uppercuts to the Premier. Nobody home. SK Bishop able to get out of the way. Up and over goes Hoodie. Or I'm sorry, Anaya. And Anaya with the senton in the corner. And a double knee strike to SK Bishop. Anaya charging forward. Double clothesline. Nicely done by Anaya Howlett. And Howlett surprisingly getting some cheers out of this crowd here at the Camelot Ballroom. Inverted DDT, no. High angle backbreaker by Anaya with the cover. 2 count only. And Anaya shocked that he did not get a 3 count. And a win here in this Kansas City street fight at no turning back. Sellout crowd here at the Camelot Ballroom showing their appreciation for this matchup with the Fight Forever chant, as now Anaya trying to check on his brother there. Hoodie is handcuffed to that rope. They're going to need to get those handcuffs off if they want to have any kind of chance in this matchup. But the Premier behind Anaya there. Anaya does not realize this, of course, because his back is turned. Double super kick finds its mark. Just rocks Anaya Howlett. Cradle kick and a pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Referee was distracted. And Anaya kicks out of the referee's count, but this matchup was effectively just won by the Premier. But referee was distracted, and it's only official. But wow! Campbell Myers with a super kick to referee Nick Chen. An uncharacteristic move by SK Bishop, now wondering, just like I am, what's going on. The Premier, this is completely out of their character to lay their hands on the referee. I think maybe emotions got the best of them, but nonetheless, as SK Bishop just stomping away on the head of Anaya Howlett. They are trying to end careers here. And Hoodie Howlett just a bloody mess, as he is just hemorrhaging blood from that cut, that gash on his forehead. I'm hearing comments out of people here in the crowd that that's enough, as they have the head of Anaya Howlett set up on that chair. Does the Premier. Campbell charging forward, just stomps with a curb stomp right under that steel chair, and Hoodie Howlett can do nothing about it except watch his brother, as Hoodie Howlett now just trying to break free of those handcuffs. And the Premier now would be wise to be going for a cover, but there's no referee. We need to get another referee out here. And now the Premier with Anaya Howlett. You see there, Hoodie, a bloody mess. He's lost a lot of blood, which does not bode well for him. As the Howletts, it looks like Hoodie Howlett just slipped free. It looks like he used the... I'm not sure how he broke free from those handcuffs, but he is free. And Hoodie Howlett with a series of strikes to the Premier. SK Bishop on the back of Hoodie Howlett now. Hoodie with a big boot to the midsection of Campbell Myers. And he charges forward using SK Bishop as a battering ram, and a side slam finds its mark. I have no idea. I got to imagine Hoodie Howlett just pulled free of those handcuffs. Nonetheless, here we are, fans, as Hoodie Howlett with a big choke slam that just destroys Campbell Myers. I got to imagine the blood loss has taken its toll on Hoodie Howlett, as he is unable to capitalize here. He has lost a massive amount of blood. but he is firmly in control of this Kansas City street fight. His brother Anaya out on the outside of the ring, nowhere to be found. And there's Nick Chen. He's still out from that super kick, courtesy of Campbell Myers. And I'm surprised the capacity crowd here has completely gotten behind the Howletts here. I got to imagine it's due to the actions of the premiere, but a crazy matchup and a crazy turn of events here in this Kansas City street fight. And Hoodie now set up those two chairs there in the ring. What does he have in store for Campbell Myers? He's Hoodie going under the ring. What's he looking for? That is an Easter basket. Easter's, of course, coming up here a week from tomorrow. But I don't think the Easter Bunny left that bucket for Hoodie Howlett. And that is a lot of thumbtacks. What in the hell is Hoodie Howlett thinking? Campbell Myers in a prone position. Those thumbtacks dumped all over his head. As Hoodie now with SK Bishop sets him up on the top rope. This is not going to be good for the premiere. SK Bishop with a low blow that turns the tide of this matchup and what Hoodie Howlett had in mind. Anaya up, catches a Singapore cane to the head and goes right through that table on the outside. That is a reinforced table. As now Hoodie up on that second rope, the premiere with Hoodie. What do they have in store for Hoodie Howlett? Powerbomb into the thumbtacks through the chairs. Goes Hoodie Howlett. This is, without a doubt, the most brutal matchup that we have had in our short history from the DWF to now Central States Wrestling. But it's the only kind of action you're going to see here in Kansas City, in the Kansas City metro area, Kansas, Missouri. You're only going to see this kind of action and brutality at Central States Wrestling. I just heard someone in the crowd saying that's enough, as Campbell Myers now choking the life out of Hoodie Howlett with that Singapore cane. The premiere trying to end the careers of the world's most dangerous tag team, the Howletts, representing the tribe. Referee Nick Chen finally has come to. He's checking on making sure Hoodie wants to give up or not. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but nonetheless, here we are. And someone's coming down the aisle. That's Coach Frazazab, the Howletts coach. As the premiere just going back and forth, they are just destroying Hoodie Howlett, and Fraz just threw in the towel. Coach Frazazab with the Warriors Academy, the trainer of the Howletts, he threw in the towel to prevent any more damage from the Howletts being done. The Howletts, I don't know that they're going to be happy with that at all. I can't imagine they will be, but Fraz looking out for his students and more importantly his friends.
It wasn't enough for the past 30 minutes.
Coach Fraz saying that's enough. They've had enough. Campbell Myers telling Fraz that no, they're going to get some more, but Fraz into the ring now. He's covering up Hoodie Howlett to prevent any more damage. And Campbell Myers with that Singapore cane right across the back of Coach Frazazab. And again, more damage being done. This match is over, but the premiere continuing on. Again, this is completely uncharacteristic of the Premier, and the crowd is letting them know that they are not happy with the Premier's action here. We've got Michael Strider out at ringside, Ben Miller. We got our referees out here trying to stop this madness. As there are just the Howletts, the members of the tribe, their bodies just splayed all over the canvas here. What a main event, fans. This Kansas City street fight has been in a shocking turn of events, as the crowd here is letting the Premier know that they are not happy with their actions. This is not going to be the end of, I can guarantee you, not going to be the end of the Premier and the Howletts. It seems like this is just the beginning. Fans, we're going to keep the cameras rolling. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to get out of here. But before I do, I want to thank each and every one of our sponsors, the law firm of Hulnick, Stang, Gering, and Leavitt, Warriors Academy KC, Kincaid, Fast Signs of Overland Park, Up Down KC, Classic Tattoo and Body Piercing, Light Sleeper Tattoo Company, Top Tier Figures, and Bottom to Top Cleaning Services. Without your support, we couldn't do this. Fans, be sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Central States Wrestling. Give us a follow on Twitter, twitter.com/CSW Wrestling KC, and Instagram at CSW Wrestling KC. Our YouTube channel, give us a subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Central States Wrestling. And on TikTok at CSW Wrestling KC. Also check us out online at CSWWrestling.com. Fans, for Central States Wrestling, I'm Jeremy Seeger. We're going to leave these cameras rolling and get comments, hopefully, from the Premier, and try to get something out of the Howletts. Thank you all so very much for watching this event. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate you taking the time out of your evening, your day, to watch this video, to support Central States Wrestling. As the Howletts now make their way, out of the ring. Fans, for Central States Wrestling, I am Jeremy Seeger. Thank you for watching No Turning Back, and we'll see you at our next show.
Everybody out there saw that? You wanted that? You wanted to see a more vicious side of the Premier? You wanted to pull that out of us? You wanted to see the side that was willing to get scars? Well, we showed you. We showed you that we're capable of getting scars. We showed you that we're capable of going to the depths to get the victory by any means.
We did show him, but there's one thing that we need to apologize for, and that's that I lied. Leading into this, the Howletts said that we had no scars, and I said, well, we'll earn them. We'll earn them at CSW, and we didn't, because you see all this blood, it ain't ours, okay? Now I see why the Howletts have so many damn scars. We went to work with them tonight, and look at how it ended, just like we said it would. Premier up. So we took y'all in the ring, and we took it to the streets, and it's still Premier up.
Neal, you want to come here, look dead into this camera, and start spewing lies? Is that what we're gonna do? You want to lay down a challenge to Moonshine Mantell? Well, here's what really happened, because what you said is that he ran from you the whole match. What happened was, after 5 long months, Moonshine Mantell showed up, looked you square in the eye, and threw bombs with you. He fought you like a man.
And the referee threw it out. He couldn't handle Moonshine Mantell. CSW couldn't handle Moonshine Mantell. That ring couldn't contain the violence. So you know what? Whatever you want to do, you want to throw out the rules. You want to give your strap a name. Let's do it. Let's bring Shirley. Let's bring Francis. Let's bring the whole damn family. You can tie it to his wrist. You tie it to yours. There won't be any lies. There won't be any narratives. There won't be anything that anyone can do, especially you, Derek Neal. May 14th. Let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned country ass whooping strap match. I'll see you there.
There's an old saying that if you're gonna pull your gun out, you better aim to kill. Premier, as far as I can tell, we're bloody, we're battered, but we ain't dead. I don't know when, I don't know where, but the next time they let you and the Howletts in the same building, you better aim to kill. Premier, you listen to me!
Remember, you did this to us. It's another scar for our bank. This is what we're made of. We bleed, and we love it. Premier? This isn't the end!